And now as we jump into the Q&A, Antre says about Khamzat Chimaev, hope this happens in 170. I'd love to see him fight Usman at 170. I don't see it happening, though. Because, I mean, it would help him get a title shot. But then even if you win, you still got Belal Muhammad you got to take care of business against. Colby Covington and Leon Edwards, that fight's not booked. I mean, that's going to be forever. And how long can you keep making weight for another 2 years? That's a big question right now. I think you could do it once for a title shot and win it, but he's not going to do it 3 or 4 more fights. It's just not going to happen. But, you know, it is what it is. Jay Floyo 11 said, who whooped Nate Diaz? ? Khamzat didn't get to whoop him, but he would have whooped him. That was the point. He wasn't motivated. That would have been an easy fight against Nate Diaz. Let's be real. Charlie Wallace says, great video, man. All the most important stats in one place. Thanks. That's how we do it with the predictions, man. We look at the stats, and that's why when you see us in the main card, our record gets better. Prelims, you know, anything could happen because you got newcomers coming in with no stats, things of that nature. So we got to make a tougher prediction. It's a little harder in the Contender Series because these guys don't have stats. But when guys get into UFC and they're 4 to 6 fights in and the stats start to build up, I mean, those stats hold firm usually in fights when they're over multiple fights, and you can make better predictions. Alex Newton says, Usman versus Belal, guys. That's a real possibility, too. He might just not fight Khamzat because Belal will get him what he wants, too. Doge says, I was there watching it live last night at UFC Charlotte. This is probably one of the biggest robberies in the history of UFC. Speaking of Cody Stamann and Douglas Da Silva de Andrade. These judges are messing up fighters' legacies. Yeah, and let me peek at those stats real quick because I heard a lot of people talking about this. When you look at the stats, I mean, Da Silva won 61 to 54 in significant strikes, 72 to 66 in total strikes. Cody Stamann did have a takedown with 2 minutes of control, but when you look at the stats, I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's a big time robbery, but when you watch the fight, maybe so. Sometimes that's the underlying factor is actually watching the fight and looking at it. The Matrix says, I love this dog. Dollars win. Smiley face emoji, yes. Ji Yeon Kim versus Mandy Bohm. Man, we got that wrong. I thought Ji Yeon Kim would pull it out, but she didn't. She didn't. She let us down. But great night of fights last night. Khamzat is the favorite against Usman. That's what we got to recognize, is what they're saying. And I think Paulo Costa is still the best bet, even though I'm not happy about that fight either. But in terms of what's the best option for Khamzat right now, I say Paulo Costa, get ranked in middleweight and welterweight, continue to dominate opponents, and you're going to get your title shot eventually. But it is a crying shame that he's only fought once in like 14, 15 months. I mean, it's getting a little ridiculous now.
He's gon' fight, wait, he's gon' fight, wait, hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height, yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might, saying step up, wanna fight, hold up, think twice, gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon, walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass stranded, wake up, hey, where you at, hey, got hit in the head with a baseball bat.